Hello everyone, welcome to my March 2023 bullet journal setup. I know I say this a lot, but I cannot believe it's already March. It feels like it was just 2022 and now it's March 2023. I guess that's how time goes. Anyway, as you can see, my theme for this month is going to be an art gallery. If you haven't seen my first bullet journal setup, I shared with you guys that I wanted to create themes and pages in my bullet journal that really excite me. So those are things like my hobbies, my interests, my childhood. And this time I wanted to mimic an art gallery in my bullet journal because one of my favorite things to do in every city that I visit is to visit a museum. The sticker pack that you see me using is from Shein, and I will link it down below for you guys if it's still available. As you can see in the first page, I feature Matisse, Van Gogh's portrait, and Mona Lisa. I also have the stickers for Van Gogh's sunflowers and a small portrait of Van Gogh's landscape painting of a farm. In the past 2 months, I just inked my themes for my bullet journal. So for the month of March, I decided to paint with my Himi gouache from Amazon. Again, this will be linked down below. I forgot how much I loved painting. The texture that gouache creates is really interesting to me, and I think it might be my favorite medium to paint with. I like that you can control the opacity for it to look like watercolor or acrylic, and when you layer it just right, it looks so unique. And the fact that I can mimic these textures as an amateur using very amateur paint really says a lot about the medium. Anyway, as you can see, I'm just painting little frames on the stickers that I chose to feature in my cover page. The brown that you see me using is just like old paint stuck on my old palette, and I reactivated it with water, and somehow it's the perfect brown that I wanted. When I was planning for this theme and just drawing it out in pencil, I was so eager to just finish the whole thing, but I decided that I wanted to buy gold watercolor or gold paint, and you can see those 2 little gold circles up at the top. The reason I wanted to buy those is because I wanted to also mimic like old paintings with gold frames, if you know what I'm talking about. I guess I can insert a picture here for you guys as an inspiration. I really wanted this art gallery theme to be a little more doodly, a little more playful, but at the same time very classic and timeless and really pretty with the gold accents. This paint that I'm using I purchased from Amazon, and if you guys are interested, again, it will all be linked down below. I was highly impressed with the quality of this gold watercolor. In person, it looks a lot more shimmery and a lot more alive and dynamic. But for now, I'm just using my phone to film, so maybe it's losing a little bit of its luster through camera. But in person, it's so beautiful. Anyway, you can see me just accenting a little bit of gold and even the brown frames. This is the gold frame that I was talking about. The vintagey, bronze, antique scroll work frame and really intricate. I wanted to use this gold as an accent throughout the pages of my bullet journal theme. Here you can really see how shiny it is. Just as a fair warning though, it's really hard to write on top of this paint, probably due to its metallic qualities, but oh my gosh, it's so pretty. For my title, I just wanted a bold cursive font. Honestly, this is my handwriting, so I can't really link you to a font, but I just wanted a bold cursive font for some reason. And here I'm just using gouache and trying my best to stick with the lines, but I'm not too good with a brush. And I'll do like the fake calligraphy thing where I thicken up some of the downstrokes. And I was pretty happy with it. I thought this corner was missing something, so I added a mini calendar right there for functionality, of course. And you can see in the rest of this bullet journal setup that I actually start referring to that calendar a little bit more. And to finish off the cover page, I wanted to add a quote by Van Gogh. It's one of my favorite quotes of all time. And it goes, "I feel that there's nothing more truly artistic than to love people." Now we're moving on to my weeklies. You may have noticed a trend of me not really adding my, I guess you can say, important quote-unquote pages before my weeklies. That's because I want this bullet journal to work for myself. And the way that I use it is purely for scheduling, tracking some things, and budgeting. So I find that I don't really need all the other pages that normal Bujo people usually use. Anyway, I also really enjoy changing up my weekly setups. I find that if I use the same weekly setup every week for the month, I just get really bored. So I try to be creative and just change it up a little bit. Here you can see again just how beautiful and shiny and metallic this gold paint really is, but I think it's even better in person, honestly. You'll also see that I add some matting, and for that I just paint like a light gray border inside the frames. Here I decided I wanted to do a little bit of a landscape painting. It was just a random idea, and I think I really liked how cute it was. And maybe along the weeks, if I decide that I want to be creative, then I may paint some more. Here again, you can see that I really like to change up my weeklies. Sometimes these weeklies are a little bit, not as functional as others, for lack of better words. Specifically this one right here with the line. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure how this will work throughout the month, but we'll make it work and it'll be okay. For week 12 and week 13, I decided to showcase my favorite artist of all time. And it may be cliche, but I really love how he saw the world. I mean, to see color in the way that he did and to compose artwork the way that he did is just purely genius. Anyway, because of that, I wanted to pay an homage to one of his most famous paintings, which is The Starry Night. Of course, I cannot even come close to his artistic abilities, but I just tried and mimicked the colors. I wanted this to be super simple, and I'm not really a painter. Also, my skills are very, very, very amateur. So I tried my best, but I'm very happy with the results, so that's all that really matters. Here you can see me again use that gold paint because it's so beautiful and so iridescent. For my weekly titles, I'm just painting them on as well, and I really like the ugly script look. I wasn't really going for it to be ugly, but I think it really works for some reason. Oh, I failed to mention and really failed to show, but I cut out the top of the pages of the weeklies just because I really wanted to showcase the paintings from the front cover and the back cover as well. You can kind of see what I'm talking about here, where you can still see Mona Lisa, Van Gogh, and Matisse, even though you're on week 12. Also, another thing is I have these washi tapes that I also got from Shein, although I got them a long time ago, so I don't know if they're still available, but if they are, I'll link them down below too. But I just used them as tabs for the weeks. I thought it was cute and added some color to a pretty simplistic or minimalistic bullet journal setup. At least minimalistic and simplistic as much as I would say. We're on to week 14, which is the last week of March. And for this one, I just added some frames. And again, I was mimicking more like a doodle style, kind of quirky look. I feel like something's missing in this page, but I can't really pinpoint what it is. Well, regardless of what it is, if I figure it out, then I might just paint over it or do whatever throughout the month. I wanted to show you guys real time how slow I am with painting these letters. So you can imagine how slow I am painting these frames too, but I thought it was really fun, and I always look forward to a new month because that means I get to do something creative and I get to think outside the box. If you were to recreate this theme, please tag me. I would love to see it. One of my recommendations for painting frames is to add matting to it. It really adds a lot of detail and I think it's super cute. Okay, we're almost to the end, I think, because now you can see that I am doing the back page. And in all of the months of this bullet journal, I'm deciding to do 1 line a day. So this is my 1 line a day page. And for this page, I'm showcasing, I believe, Starry Night, Van Gogh, and a Van Gogh detailed sticker. You'll see this one, this orange one. I did not measure that properly, so I just cut the corners there. I'm so in love with this theme. Something I've really enjoyed doing is lining every other line for my 1 line a days, because then it starts to not get too jumbled up. Anyway, we're nearing the last few pages. Oh, actually, these are the last pages for my bullet journal setup for March. And of course, they're dedicated to cash stuffing and budgeting. So you'll see the pages to the left are for expenses and income. And then I added a specific page for cash stuffing itself. I used to just use expenses and income as my budgeting page, but I found that in the past few months, I just really needed a cash stuffing page by itself. I need these pages to be pretty much bare and empty, so I can't really do much in the middle. So it looks kind of wrong right now, but once I start writing things on there, it'll start filling up and then it'll be okay. Okay, we are nearing the end of this video, and here are the detail shots. I think this might be my favorite theme that I have ever done so far. There's just something about art that brings me joy. I really hope that this theme has inspired you to do something that brings you joy as well. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and giving it a like, just so I know to make more videos like this in the future. Of course, to properly close out this video, I will go ahead and add the flip through. But first, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a good one. Bye!